Thank you for tuning into the Faceless Podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. You can call me whatever you want. As long as it's not I'll most probably respond. 10th episode. We're building. We're going slowly. Obviously, I want to thank everyone, as always, for tuning in, for liking, sharing, subscribing, for the feedback that I've been getting. I've been getting brilliant feedback as well. Thank you to everyone that wished me a happy birthday. It would have been, last week or the week before? Well, last week. I don't even remember. Everything's a blur now. Everything's just one big day. But yeah, today's, what I want to speak about in this video is a bit slightly different to what we've been talking about recently. But how this has come about is, as you know, on Facebook, I'm the mayor of Meme Town. Some would say that that's self-entitled. Some will say that I was appointed by the people of Meme City. But then there is so what I'd like to do, as I'm sure a lot of you are, I'm a fan of memes. I just like the style, the form of comedy. So I just like and share the memes that I find funny, and other people tend to find them funny as well. And there was a meme that I've shared now, but it wasn't. It was slightly different, and this meme was basically talking about child support, and it was to kind of paraphrase the meme, some of you would know it already. Some of you who've got me on Facebook will know exactly where we're going with this. So the meme said child support should be on a card which can only be used to buy baby products, not fund trips to Miami, or basically the mother's lifestyle, if it is the mother that's getting the child support. And I'm assuming it'll be the same if it was the father that was getting the child support from the mother, then it'll be the father's lifestyle as well. So essentially what the meme is saying is every single penny of that child support should go to the child and the child's needs, and not funding the mother's lifestyle. Obviously I shared it and controversy hit. We ended up being about 100 comments in, because to me, I don't feel like that's unreasonable. I'm not a parent myself yet. Planning on having a football team one day, God willing. But yeah, to me, there's nothing controversial about that statement. That the money that's been allocated or put aside for your child should be spent on your child. Now, one of my friends that I've known since school, known for a long time, we won't name you, kind of took a different perspective, and I've kind of seen this perspective as coming out a lot as well, in terms of well, no, if I'm looking after the kid, if I want to dip into the money, then I dip into the money, like I look after the child 24/7 sort of thing. So if I want to treat myself a little bit, as long as my child's taken care of, then I don't see the issue in that. And for me, I don't know, for me personally, I believe, and maybe it's how I was raised. Like I've been raised, in the sense of, like, even my mum telling me this from when I was a little kid, saying if someone gives you, let's say for example, it's £10, and says, look, here's £10, go to the shops and buy ABC. You see that exact £10, that same note, that's what you used to go buy. Even if you've got money in your account, and you go, oh yeah, let me spend a fiver here, and then I'll just put it back in. No, you see that £10 that you've been given, it's got a purpose. Use it for that. You get a receipt, you come back with a change. That's how I was raised. So maybe this is the bias coming from that perspective. I do it all till now. If I have to go shop for my mum, or even if I'm out with my friends, and I buy something for them using their card or using their money, I'll get a receipt to show them, look, like, and it's almost to kind of cover my back, but then also to me it's just how I've been raised. If you use someone else's money, someone else's card, you bring back the receipt, almost as a courtesy to say, okay, look, the money that you've given me has gone to exactly what it was intended to go to. Obviously I'm sure most people won't mind if, like, let's say they'd given me money to go do something and I dip into it, but then they end up getting the same amount of change back and the same amount of value from the money they had given me. But then why I may be kind of going into the lesson a little bit here, and I know I'm digressing a little bit, but there's a reason why I'm setting up this way, to kind of maybe explain why I don't see an issue in the meme and what the meme was saying. So to me, why that's valuable, if you get given something, use it for its intended purpose, because it saves your back when something goes wrong. Because no one knows how things are gonna go. I could go, okay, look, someone's giving me £10. I've got 20 in my account, so let me spend the cash now because it's easier, and then I'll just do whatever later on. What if your account gets hacked? Now you've got zero, and you've already spent that tenner. It leaves you in problems. So that's why, to me personally, I feel like, and it will explain why I would have gone with this method of thinking of, if the money's been set aside for your child, then just use it on your child. This is before we even go into the emotional arguments, before we even go into anything else. Just off logic, the money's been set aside for A, use it for A. If the money's been set aside for B, use it for B. If the money is unspecified, then it is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Cool, fair enough. Now, some of the arguments or some of the argumentation that was being used back was, well, the fathers, they don't contribute that much. They only contribute this much. I spend 100% of my salary on my children, or my kids or my child. So if I want to dip into a little bit, then like, he's telling me anything basically. Like, I'll do what I want. The money's hit my account. It's my money now. And why I had an issue with that is because, obviously, I'm not a parent yet, but I've got a lot of friends who are parents. Obviously, I come from a very big family as well. And I know that when it comes to kids, things are unexpected. Things can happen at any time. They're expensive, and things can happen at any time. So my whole logic behind it was, okay, let's say, for example, let's paint out this scenario of, yes, the father might not be contributing that much. Yes, you might have spent the majority of your salary on the child, because the payments, when they've come in after you needed to pay for everything. To me, what that would mean, and this is what I would do as a parent, great. I'll just put that aside. Next month, I've got more money to spend on my child. So that's the logic I was taking from all of this. Okay, sweet. So if you as a parent spend such and such amount of money on your child, and then it means you don't get your hair done, your nails done, or you don't get a haircut, or you can't go to the pub, or you can't have a drink, you spent that on your child. It is your child, as much as it is the other half's child as well. And I'm kind of being gender ambiguous at the moment, because I know there are some mothers out there that pay child support to fathers. It's not just one way around, even though it's predominantly fathers that are paying child support to mothers as well. But I want to be fair in that instance. You do get bad people on both sides. But yeah, so how I'm looking at it is, it is your child. Your responsibility as a parent, whether you're co-parenting, whether you're a single parent, whether you and your partner are still together, is to look after that child, is to give that child the best possible life at whatever cost. Me personally, as if I was to have children, I could not care less what my hair looks like. I could not care less if I've got whatever the newest clothes or whatever. I could not care less if I wasn't getting support from my other half. This is my child. I'm looking after my child. They come first. And if I do get additional support, that goes to my child again. So to me, I couldn't see where the issue was with that mode of thinking. I couldn't see how that poses a problem. How someone could be angry at someone saying, look, that money is intended for your child, just use it on your child. Obviously, now, and again, let me make this disclaimer before we go too far. Yeah, one of my neighbours thinks it's acceptable to be raising chickens that like to cluck every 15 minutes. So yeah, that little jump cut there, I just had to close the window. But now the room's just gonna get hot. But it is what it is. It's the Faceless Podcast. We just roll with it. We just move, we shake, and we roll with it. But yeah, so as I was saying, a quick disclaimer that I want to make before we go a little bit further into it is, I am not defending deadbeat fathers. I am not defending irresponsible parents. When I'm saying that, oh yeah, if you're the main custody holder and you've used up all your money, then if you get a little bit extra, then just save it. I don't mean that excuses the father not being there or the mother not being there. I'm not saying that excuses poor parenting. And again, another thing which came up further on in that conversation, which made me laugh a little bit, is and this is probably a topic that we'll hit on another day in terms of the impact that single parent households are having on the community, especially the minority communities as well. But then another thing is, stop having children with bad people. Stop having children with people that will leave you on your own. And I'm closing my eyes because this is coming from deep in my soul. Stop having children with people that are going to leave you on your own to suffer and struggle. And I understand you can say to me, but Sheps, at the time when we was doing whatever we was doing, everything was sweet, everything was hunky-dory. How was I meant to know? There's something called red flags. Red flags that every person has. I've got my red flags. Someone will look at me, do or say something, and they'll go, you know what? No, I'm all right. I'm fine. You can stay over there. But if you choose to ignore red flags, and you're out here having children with mothers, fathers that are not cut out to be parenting, you have to take some of the responsibility for that as well. You can't just put the blame on just one person and go, well, they told me this, they told me that. So I thought it was all good. You as a parent, because this is making me a little bit warm now. So, because I'm a firm believer in personal responsibility. Obviously, this is not excusing the person that lied to you. This is not excusing maybe you being infatuated, you being in love, but it's not excusing none of that. But decision making has to be better, and you have to be held accountable for the decisions that you made. So, okay, so saying that now, kind of moving forward from where we was before my neighbor's chickens really interrupted us. So like I said, I'm not defending bad parenting. I'm not defending non-existent parents. However, my whole viewpoint on this was, if you're saying it's difficult to raise and bring up your child, if you're saying financially it's so much of a struggle that you couldn't even get some of your own luxuries as a result, then surely if you're getting help on top, and it's been, especially if it's been designated to your child, all that money, every single penny should be going to that child. If that means that, you know what, you sorted out everything you need to sort out this month, and next month you've got a head start, so be it. If that means, you know what, let's say on your salary or on whatever assistance you're getting as the single parent, you've managed to sort out everything your child needs, and then you've got a few extra £100 left over, start a savings account, rainy day fund. Prepare, just be prepared for things to go wrong. Because and if I'm lying, put it in the comments below, but in life things go wrong. You have to be prepared for that. So to me, when I saw the meme, and I'll see if I'll see if there's a way, I'll see if there's a way of putting it in the video, because but if not, I think a lot of you already know what the meme is. So for me, I understood what the meme said in terms of child support should just be used on the child. Now, some of you might be asking, obviously, or not even asking, some of you might be saying, obviously, child support should be used on the child. It shouldn't be going nowhere else. I don't even understand why this is a discussion in the first place. But what's happening is what I've tended to see as well, which is sad, and this is the sad part that brings me onto, is the weaponization of children by single mothers, by single fathers that are bitter. The weaponization of children. I've heard cases, even in the comments, it was really sad. There was a case of someone who wants to be there for the children, someone who wants to be there for his family. Obviously, him and his partner have not worked out, but then the partner's weaponizing the children, saying, okay, take you to the courts, you have to pay me this much, and still asking for more on top, which is obliging, but you're not allowed to see your children out because I don't like you. Now, imagine dealing with someone like that. And again, when we start talking about law's meant to protect. The reason law is there, it's meant to protect. Now, on these conditions, why I personally wouldn't disagree with a condition which said child support or child services money should go directly just to the child. Because now imagine in the unfortunate situation where you're dealing with someone that's bitter, someone that just hates men now because you two didn't get along, and you say you're funding your child, you're supporting your child, you're working harder than ever, and what's happening is your child is getting neglected, but you see your other half every day, new nails, new hair, new haircut, new car, new motorbike, new whatever it is. But to the courts, they're coming to them, I'm struggling, I need, he's not even around. And we know whoever's got 100% custody of the child, and the courts do tend to favour the mothers, it is hard to convince them otherwise. You literally have to say, this woman is insane and my children will die for you to even get a look in. And there are some evil women out there that are using it and weaponizing it. And I will use the word evil because that's what it is. It's evil. Regardless of what's happened, these children are innocent. So why are you out here spending your child's money on yourself, and you're trying to justify it in your heart saying, well, I go through the emotional stress, I go through this, You're a parent. It's your kid as well. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how this can even be in contention. But yeah, I won't go on too long. I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out there. I know it's not been too coherent, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Now, let me know. Am I talking nonsense? Am I talking rubbish? I will make another video later on talking about kind of how some fathers are suffering with the system as it's set up at the moment. I will make another video on, like I said, single parent households, how that affects the youth. But yeah, so these were just my thoughts. I do apologize, it's a bit all over the place, but I just wanted to get them out. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Leave your comments on Facebook. One thing I do want to highly recommend is you follow the Faceless Podcast on Facebook. I will be posting more of these memes so we can have these conversations, we can have these dialogues, and you might just help someone's life with your experience and what you've been going through. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much for your support as always. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. Call me what you want, as long as it's not I. We could get on. Have a good day.